everyone, it's Ginger from StampingTheCape.com, and I'm here with my second January 2018 Stamp Club project for you. Again, we're featuring the Sure Do Love You bundle, and I wanted to show you the Designer Series paper, which is called Painted with Love. I believe that's what it's called. It's a specialty Designer Series paper because they all have beautiful gold in them. You can see, well, the main 6 patterns have gold in them. They're gorgeous. And I'm trying to feature some of those in our projects this month. But then on the back side, they're less brilliant or less shiny, if you will, if you like more of a subtle look. And these could be used for anything, even just because they are in pinks and whatnot. You can use, I mean, this looks like brick, so you could use that as a background for a masculine card. You know, some of these patterns are really interesting, so you can mix and match them. It's great. So I'm featuring those this month, and I'm also featuring, as I stated before, in the Sure Do Love You bundle. And if you watch my first video, you'll see that these projects are items from the New Occasions catalog, which just went live January 3rd, and our Celebration catalog, which are the free items you can get with a $50 purchase. I won't go into that again because I already mentioned that in my first video. The next project for my month we're making is this Valentine card, and it does incorporate some other products, but I thought it was kind of fun. This is a Celebration item, so you get to use that. And this is some of the Designer Series paper. So let's get started. I won't waste any more of your time. One of the products I wanted to show you, it's in the annual catalog, which I've been remiss at using, and I'm trying to use it more because, especially when you have items like this that are detail cut, it saves you time and aggravation like you can't believe. And it's the Sizzix adhesive sheets. And they are on, let me see if I can find them real quick. I should have had this marked. Bad me. There with the other adhesives, they are right here on page 203 of the catalog. They're the multi-purpose adhesive sheets, and they will save you, like I said, a lot of time and aggravation. There's 12 6x12 sheets of $10, worth every penny. And I want to show you how they work. I've already prepped my other pieces, but what it is it comes in a 6x12 sheet, and if you were doing a lot of one particular project, you could just put one piece of adhesive on a larger piece of cardstock, cut it into the sizes you needed. But for this, I've done the size I need for this particular project, and so this is a 1 1/4 by 3. 1 1/4 by 3 1/4 piece of rich razzleberry, and I usually leave some extra space for whatever doing. The U is going to be a little bit smaller, so I've cut a slightly smaller piece of this adhesive. That way you don't get it off the edge. And the one thing, this is very sticky, so you want to try to keep your fingers away from the adhesive. So what I do is I will carefully peel back part of it, and then I will stick it down on my paper in the middle, and then slowly peel the paper, the protective sheet away. Now this is also a protective sheet. It's like a double-sided tape. So now it's protected here until you cut it and peel it away. So I'm going to show you how we do that. It's awesome. I'm going to bring in my Big Shot, and we're going to cut a bunch of things all at once too, which makes this an easier project. So like I said, I've already prepped my other pieces, my gold foil, oh, I haven't done that one. Oh, I didn't need to do that one. Okay, now on these 2 pieces, I'm going to put them side by side because these little hearts that are in the card, I'm also cutting out, so I can cut those at the same time. So I'm going to use the word love from, this is Sunshine Sayings, and this one this time I'm going to do this, I'm going to do the opposite just so you can see the difference. I'm going to do love in the rich razzleberry this time, and I'm putting it to this side. And then the U is from the free Celebration stamp set, Celebrate You. It comes with Amazing and Celebrate, but I'm going to use the U. And we're going to put that on the Melon Mambo side. And then I'm taking the hearts from the Everyday Jar framelits, and I'm going to put those right across there. And that way I can cut those all at the same time, and they'll have their adhesive on them. In fact, I might just push them in just a little bit. Oop. My plate is telling me it doesn't want it to go there. Okay. And then I'm taking the heart also from Sunshine, and I'm sticking that right on the gold. So we'll get all that die cut all at the same time. Okay. Crunch, crunch, crunch. There we go. Okay. Put this all away. So here's our heart. And I always keep thinking I want to use this inside piece for something, and I don't know, it just looks kind of weird. I haven't been that creative yet, but now when you use this adhesive, don't be alarmed if you find that pieces of the adhesive aren't coming off. That's okay, because all it's doing, you want to just make sure you can pop off this section, because even if you see the little white there, that's fine, because your gold has popped off. Once you peel off your protective sheet, it'll be fine. You won't have to deal with not cutting through or whatever. It just didn't go through the adhesive. If you want to get that adhesive off, you can also just run it through a second time, back and forth. But I'm just taking all these little pieces out. And I can see, and sometimes when my cutting pad is kind of chewed up from lots of use, it doesn't cut as deeply, so that's another reason my cutting pad needs to be replaced. In fact, actually, I'm going to leave that and see if I can, by pulling it off, I'll be able to take care of that. So we've got our love, and I just pop that over, and our U. Set those aside, and then we've got all our little hearts. So, ooh, some of the adhesive came out on these, so I'm going to leave that in place as we make this. All right, so let's get rid of this excess stuff I don't need. Okay, so you're going to take this is an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of thick Whisper White. And I'm going to fold that in half. And this started off as a piece of 4 by 5.25 of the Designer Series paper, which I perfectly cut in half, corner to corner, so that I could make the other card. So again, I'm going to use my Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue so that I can make sure I line that how I want it. Okay. And you really don't need much. I mean, I barely put any in the middle, so. Line that up. Pretty good. Okay. All right. So now all we have to do is remove the adhesive off the back of our gold heart. And see how those pieces are going to pop off, so you don't have to worry that they, whoops, get out of there. That one didn't want to come off. Okay, I had to run that through again because I had an extra piece of paper stuck on the back. It was a little bit thicker and didn't want to cut. So we're going to put our heart up here. All right, and then we're going to take our love. If I could pick it up, and we'll peel that off there like that, easy peasy. And let's stick it like that. I was just wondering because the darker raspberry against the pink, it maybe stands out a little more. I don't know. Let's see two different ideas, or even the heart could have been done in a different color if it's got too much gold up there. And then we have you. All right, and then I'm going to take the little hearts. Now, on my card, on my first card, I popped up a couple just for a little bit more dimension. I thought that was made it kind of interesting. So, pop up that heart. Like I said, this would be much easier if I had the Brights, excuse me, did I say Regals before? The Brights enamel shapes, because they have the Melon Mambo and Rich Raspberry in them. But wasn't thinking when I placed my order, didn't know what I was going to make exactly, and didn't have them on hand. So now let's do the banner. Now, if you look at this banner, originally it's this long, and it says "Sure Do Love You." But I wanted to use the "Love You," but just the "Sure Do." So on this one, what I did was I stamped the whole thing, and I cut it right there. I don't know if you can see, I put dimensionals underneath to pop this side up. Then I put one, when I attached it to this piece, I put one dimensional, whoops, I didn't even peel the paper off, duh. I put one dimensional on the back on that side to hold it down. But then I was thinking, since this is sort of a wavy banner, why don't we just fold it right there and then tuck it under and fold it again so it really has that curve of the banner. So that's what I'm going to do this time. So I'm going to take our Melon Mambo, all this stuff out of the way, aside, and then I'm going to take my Whisper White, and this is the one I didn't need adhesive on, and I put adhesive on it anyway. And I'm going to take my foam pad, wherever I put it. Yeah, where are you? Oh, here it is. Because this is a pretty solid image, and I want to make sure I get it all. Get it up really well. Okay, there we go. All right. Now we have a die for this, so let me cut this out. This is the banner die for this. I should have stamped this ahead of time, and I could have die cut it when I cut all the other pieces, but I wasn't thinking. Surprise! Not thinking. All right. So, like I said before, I cut it with my snips and then just folded the two pieces over. But I'm going to try something here. Bear with me. This is sort of how I work sometimes. I just think as I work. So this is where I want that first fold line right there between the do and the love. So let's see if I can get it in there. Ah, that was the cutter. Yeah. Dummy. Okay, hopefully I haven't really messed it up. So let's fold it there. Okay. So now we're going to want to fold it back right next to the, not cut it, fold it right back next to the U. So just on the edge of that banner. Let's see what that looks like. If this doesn't work, then I'll just go back to cutting it. So we're going to fold this, and then we're going to fold this forward. No, okay, that doesn't work. I need to fold it less. So let's just do it by hand. What if we just do it by hand like that? We can get away with that, right? So do it by hand. But you know what I'm going to do? Because now that the cardstock is folded, you could see a little bit of white there. So I'm just going to take a sponge dauber, or you could take, well, let me just take a marker. My Melon Mambo marker. And just run it a little bit along that edge, just to kind of hide that white a little bit. Yeah, there, that'll work. So now what you can do is you can just put adhesive here to hold this part down. Yeah, don't tear it, like, because I've already cut it, so I don't want to tear it. Went too far with the adhesive, roll it back. Okay. So that'll be like that. And we can still put a dimensional on this side just to kind of still give it a little bit of dimension. So on this end we'll put a dimensional, and then we'll put more adhesive on this side. This can go across here. Boom, boom, boom. And then I've got one more of my little razzleberry hearts I can pop out. I can pop out. There it is, hanging off the edge. And we can put that right on there. There. So that one's done. So there you go. There's project number 2. And I'll move on to project number 3. Oh, wait a minute. Our envelope. Sorry about that. Okay, so what we're going to do on the envelope is we're going to take one heart and ink it once and stamp it 3 times. Let's see. All right, so we're going to take the Be Mine stamp, which I just have to find where I put it. There it is. Okay, and the Melon Mambo ink. And we're going to ink it up pretty well. And then we're going to stamp it once this way. And then we're going to come back in and just kind of overlap a little bit this way. And then we're going to come in this side and do it over here as well. So you get kind of 3 different shades of the ink. A little bit lighter, a little bit darker, and then all the way. So it just gives your envelope a little bit more jazzing up. And try not to get ink on your fingers and on the envelope. But by the time it goes through the mail, I'm sure it'll be in worse condition. So there you go. So here we have our 2 projects. So let's move on to number 3 and our last one in the next video.